Welcome to this explainer. Okay, we're diving straight into something that sounds like it's literally ripped from a sci-fi thriller. We're unpacking Operation Cybertrap. This was a highly secretive, incredibly high-stakes sting out in Albuquerque that totally rewrote the rules of the hunt. Law enforcement didn't just chase the internet's worst predators down, they basically turned them into the prey by using their own technology against them.
Just imagine the absolute chilling reality of a predator sending this exact message. After days of grooming, he drives to the location. He's smiling. He thinks he's completely anonymous. But when that door swings open, there's no vulnerable child waiting for him. Instead, he's staring down a tactical FBI team with their guns drawn. So let's get into the Undercover online chat initiative and see how this all went down.
To really understand how revolutionary this is, we have to look at what the FBI's Albuquerque Field Office was actually up against. They were seeing this massive, terrifying spike in online grooming cases. But here's the catch. These criminals weren't just lurking in some obvious, seedy dark web forums anymore. No, they were hiding right in plain sight. They were on the popular gaming platforms, the everyday chat apps, the social media spaces that kids are using literally every single day. The FBI quickly realized that traditional policing, it just wasn't cutting it anymore. If these predators were going to use modern tech to hide, well, law enforcement had to use advanced tech to hunt them.
And that brings us to their brilliantly terrifying solution, the digital ghost. The Bureau didn't just slap a fake stock photo on a profile and call it a day. They engineered completely fabricated, AI-assisted online personas that were specifically designed to perfectly mimic a real child. They essentially built the ultimate digital bait.
Which leads us to engineering that bait.
Now this is where the technical methods get absolutely wild. To build these avatars, the FBI engineered a flawless, multi-layered trap. First, they had to generate deep, totally believable digital footprints so the profile held up to scrutiny. Then, they fabricated very specific online interests to naturally place these ghosts in the exact gaming lobbies where predators hunt. But the technical brilliance here? The algorithmic typing patterns. The software didn't just spit out text, it simulated the exact keystroke speeds, the natural hesitation pauses, and even the common typos of an actual 11-year-old. Toss in some cutting-edge conversational AI, and the dialogue felt 100% undeniably human.
Because think about the pressure here. One wrong word, one tiny slip-up in modern internet slang, and poof, the target vanishes into the dark web. This required ice-cold precision from the specialized agents operating the tech. Sitting behind those screens, acting as the ghost's handlers, they knew the margin for error was absolute zero. Any minor glitch or unnatural typing rhythm would instantly blow the cover.
So now we enter the psychological chess game.
Just getting a predator to talk wasn't the end goal, right? Because inappropriate language alone isn't going to make a rock-solid federal case. They had to patiently, methodically steer the chat. They'd get the initial bite on the hook over the first few hours, build the conversation over days, and then, over weeks, secure undeniable proof of illegal intent. They actively push the targets toward definitive action, like sending explicit material, or, the ultimate climax, actually arranging an in-person meeting.
You can honestly just imagine the palpable tension in that FBI briefing room. Agents are watching in real time as these avatars do exactly what they were engineered to do. They're pinging IP addresses, locking down physical locations, and watching everyday citizens unmask themselves. I mean, these weren't comic book villains in ski masks. These were grown men, professionals, people you'd casually pass on the street, or even live next door to, willingly revealing their true, monstrous intentions to a machine they were convinced was a child.
All right, the coordinated takedown. The trap was set and the coordinates were locked. In a lightning-fast sweep across the entire region, the tactical teams moved in. Seriously, just imagine the absolute shock, walking up to a house expecting a defenseless kid, only to have the door kicked clean off its hinges by the feds. By the time the smoke cleared from Operation Cybertrap, the Albuquerque office had permanently removed 15 of these monsters from the streets. 15! 15 people who thought they were completely anonymous, who learned the extremely hard way that a digital footprint is permanent, walking right into an impeccably engineered snare.
But this massive victory brings us to an urgent parental warning.
Because while catching them is great, the FBI explicitly warned that we need to fundamentally change how we think about this threat. These predators, they're not passively waiting around for kids to stumble into the bad parts of the internet. They are actively hunting. They deliberately search for signs of isolation or loneliness in a kid's public posts, and they specifically seek out kids who are logged into late-night online games because they know the parents are likely asleep.
Look, law enforcement simply cannot be in every single gaming lobby or chat app, right? So they emphasize that your awareness at home is the ultimate defense. They put out these golden rules. Monitor all direct messages. Keep a super close watch for sudden behavioral changes in your kids. And above all, teach them to just assume that any online friend is a total stranger until proven otherwise. The tech to catch these guys is getting incredible, but parental vigilance, that's always going to be the first line of defense.
So, as we wrap up this explainer, I really want to leave you with a final thought on this ongoing digital war. The FBI absolutely proved they can brilliantly weaponize AI to protect the vulnerable. But it does open up a massive debate, doesn't it? Should law enforcement use sophisticated AI avatars to actively police our digital spaces? Or does this level of undercover fabrication start crossing the line into privacy risks? I'd love to hear your take on this. Stay vigilant and keep learning.